Aiduel's sin tells a much darker tale of deception and inner conflicts while providing some long-awaited answers to the mysterious gate. Welcome back to the Fantasy Shelf. Today I'm doing a book review of Aiduel's Sin, the second book in the Illborn saga. Because this is the review for the second installment in the series, this discussion will include spoilers. So please come back after reading the books or use the timestamps below to skip the spoiler sections. The plot delves deeper into the mystery behind the powerful godlike figure named Aiduel, whose past actions continue to influence events in the story. With the invasion of Andar by Alana's forces backed by the Holy Church and treacherous allies, Alana, Arion, and Lyanna face new challenges, moral dilemmas, and betrayals. Corin, intent on finding answers, travels far up the northern mountains than anyone has ever been while his clan faces imminent war with a cruel southern clan. Will Corin find what he is looking for and be back to save his clan in time? Is Aiduel really a protector and a god or something far darker? With the Holy Church secretly hunting them down as heretics, the Illborn are forced to confront a far darker destiny in Aiduel's sin. The narrative structure follows the same format as the earlier book. The story, told in POV chapters, continues 3 months after the events of the first novel. Now that we are through with the character introduction and backstories in Book 1, the story moves at a much faster pace. Each POV chapter had a significant event for the tale to progress. Now that I'm invested in the story, it did not matter that the chapters were switching between characters. The main leads continue to learn more about their ever-developing powers and use it to influence their lives and the lives of others around them, sometimes with drastic consequences. The Kingdom of Andar is facing a civil conflict as well as an invasion from its neighboring nations. 3 of the main leads are right in the middle of the chaos, while the 4th sets out on a journey to discover the truth behind their powers. The central conflict continues to be instigated by the religious order using faith as a weapon to grab power and to maintain dominance over its followers. Equal importance has been given to the plot of each of the main leads, who are very different in personalities and have varying life experiences. Though the pacing is balanced for the most part, events related to the supporting characters are sometimes rushed. This limited the possibility of any emotional connect to these individuals or the tragic events around them. There were no shocking plot twists and the story has minimal suspense. I have to point out that the title of the book is a dead giveaway too. There are some deep, thought-provoking questions that the readers are confronted with about sin and choice. I also found the concept of core memory wired into the DNA of living beings very interesting. The setting continues to be diverse as the characters are in different regions of the world for the most part. Since we are in the second book, I felt the world building needed to be more elaborate and immersive. This world seems smaller to me than it actually ought to be. The lore and mythology has been further developed. We get plenty of revelations about Aiduel as well as the source of the powers, uncovering the true nature of deities in this world. Each of the main characters possesses a very different kind of supernatural power that also reflects their personality. So far, other than the leads getting physically drained out, there has been no other cost of using the powers. But as there are only 4 people gifted with powers, the magic system is passive, somewhat minimal as the focus is more on how the powers impact the various conflicts in the story. There are still unanswered questions regarding the purpose and origin of these powers, which I'm hoping to get in the upcoming books in the series. There is plenty of political intrigue, power struggles in the name of religion, and crucial events that lead to major upheavals in the lives of the leads. Like the first book in the series, this novel too is character-driven, with people dealing with inner turmoils and difficult choices. It is already established that Alana is selfish with no regard for anyone else when it is her needs and ambitions at stake. In the first book, I felt the author did well showing the evolution of her dark side. However, she is not someone who is shaped by her circumstances anymore. The way her powers manifest reveals her true twisted nature. Arion continues to make reckless, foolish decisions controlled by his lust for Alanna and desire for glory. The only saving grace in his chapters are Lyanna's presence. Even with their past life connection, I am unable to understand his obsession with Alanna. To me, his adulterous encounter with her while a battle was being fought right outside his home seemed pointless and forced. It added nothing to the story because he ended up rejecting her anyways. And she, on her part, if threatened, would have committed mass murder regardless of his rejection. Both Alanna's and Arion's chapters were tedious to read. Don't get me wrong, their chapters are important for the plot progression, but it was tough to relate to their weak and selfish inner monologues. Lyanna had the best storyline in this book. She has always been a likable character, but with an uneventful plot for most of the previous novel. Though her relationship with Amos has evolved, there is not much character development here. Now that she has come under the radar of the Holy Church, her plot is filled with tension, adventure, and danger. Out of the four, Corin is the only one with the most character growth. His story began as the underdog and he has grown into an admirable leader with many events in his life mirroring Aiduel's own journey. The imminent war with the Kuraki tribe did not seem much of a challenge as the outcome was predictable. But Corin's chapters uncover some of the mystery behind the origin and history of the powers. We finally have some fleshed out supporting characters. Karen Syndrome is someone I rooted for more than the main characters, as her solid backstory and motivations are more fascinating. I enjoyed his protective but harsh dynamics with Amos and Lyanna. He is the only one with no delusions of greatness or self-righteousness and has crystal clear clarity on his decisions for now. Aiduel's Sin is a satisfying follow-up to Illborn, a grim story for adults about a group of flawed people forced to make choices that require them to walk the thin line between good and evil. It explores some deep questions like the true nature of sin and morality. It is an easier and a more enjoyable read than the first novel and only took me about 20 hours to finish. I am giving this book a score of 7 out of 10. This series may not appeal to everyone as it tends to be more character focused than on the fantasy aspect or supernatural elements in the story. I am looking forward to know how the story gets wrapped up in the remaining 2 installments. I hope you enjoyed my book review. Please support this channel by liking the video and hitting the subscribe button. Till the next time, happy reading to all. Bye.